So, y'all, we finna get right to it, okay? All right. I'm in the midst of getting my nails done. Mind your business. And it's been a crazy week. I tell y'all, it's been a crazy year. And if you watch astrologers regularly, and I think everybody who's into sort of astrology, zodiacs, even astronomy, I mean, we kind of knew. I mean, how could you not have a crazy year with Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn moving through Capricorn, and then Uranus and Taurus that's making a train to that connection. We knew we had Mars in retrograde during this time of the year around election times. So guys, it's just been like a crazy ass time. Let me light a little bit of sage. I think we need it. Give me a second. So I think we all knew it was going to be a crazy ass time just for all we had going on this year. I believe Jupiter has a lot to do with things. I mean, even when you look at plagues, deaths, I was looking at, and maybe I don't know if I ever did the video, but around the time when Kobe passed, I studied the chart, I studied the transits, I pulled up other charts that people had passed similarly, and I was just seeing Jupiter in a lot of those connections, you know what I mean? And I think Jupiter has a heavy involvement with a lot of things that, happen in life. These are some of my stones. You guys can go to GoDaddy if you are interested in hand poured candles by my store, Beyond Earth hand poured candles, all types of sage, selenite wands, big and small. I got all kinds of selenite stuff, selenite candle holders, just all kind of stuff. And since, whatever you guys need, go check out my store. I'll be adding more products constantly as we go forward. So I noticed Jupiter had always had like a lot of involvement in things like that. How did my labradorite get upside down? I got me a new moonstone. So I got some good stuff going on. So let's take a look at what's happening. But anyway, I think we all kind of knew, the point being is that it was going to be a crazy year, right? I did Sagittarius I think it was the end of October. I'm going to post that and just make it November because you guys know these readings are timeless. So I feel like it's a little pointless to do a Sagittarius September reading because I just ended on Sag. And this is going to be, so I'm picking up on Capricorn. Just wanted to say that in case you guys don't see Sag out there. I did that reading. I just have to put it out. I never put it out. It's because I didn't have a lot of space on my phone, so I had to edit it, which means I got to clear space, go in, put the parts together because it's all chopped up. And, it's been very busy with this Mars retrograde in Aries. I will be glad on November 15th or 14th when Mars goes direct and eventually ends up in Pisces, so things can cool off a little bit as we get towards the end of the fall, the winter time. And actually, oh no, winter is Capricorn season. So as we get through the fall and into the winter time, like I said, and it's just been crazy. I know you guys have probably heard, anybody that keeps their ear to the ground. See, I'm in my 30s, but I'm like a young person. I swear to God, when I meet people who are my age in their upper 30s and even people who are younger than me, it never seems like I'm the same age as people who are my same age. And I'll tell you guys why. I'm pretty sure it's because I'm a Cancer rising. Cancer is one of the signs that stays young, and also and I have a Mercury in my first house, so Mercury is the ruler of the signs who kind of stay young, specifically Gemini. And in Vedic astrology, I'm a Gemini sun and a Gemini rising. And it's funny, me and my Gemini friend talk about it a lot. We don't look our age. Now, that's not to say I don't act my age. I have all the things that people my age or grown people should have, and I had them at 33. I got my house built almost a $300,000 house. Not that that's important. It could be $100,000 house or a $25,000 house. The point is, it will be mine and something I own. So I always had my own cars. It's really funny because I always been an old soul, but I always feel like I felt and looked young. So I'm saying that to say, Capricorn, you may need to retreat. You may need to back away from a relationship, back away from somebody. Maybe there's somebody you were really into, or maybe you saw a future with, and you guys need to kind of disconnect. Or maybe you and this person need to spend more time together and disconnect from everybody else. I'm gonna put that back in the deck and keep shuffling. So I say that to say it's been a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we knew it was gonna be a rough time. We've had this Mars in Aries. Before planets retrograde, they station retrograde, they go through certain retrograde cycles, and that energy can really be heavy before the planet actually stations retrograde or stations direct. And then we've had Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in Capricorn. Capricorn is a sign of government. It can be like the sign of law and even military to me as well. It's the sign of business. And there's training Uranus and Taurus. So we knew big changes were coming and things like that. So when you think about the riots, when you think about government, you think about all this stuff that's been going on with Trump, Biden, and the presidency, and just, I think anybody coming into 2020 that studied kind of knew it was going to be a lot of shit going on. So I say that to say, sadly, this weekend, and before I say that, I just want to say I have a beautiful, a friend of mine gifted me with a beautiful, I believe is crystal, I'm reading messages that are coming through. Sorry, caps and cross watches. So a friend had gifted me with a beautiful crystal sphere. And I was looking like, wow, this is beautiful. This is just beautiful to sit around and use as a paperweight to add to my personal collection. So like I have some gemstones over here that are my personal stuff. I have gemstones all around my house that are my personal ones. And then I have some gemstones. I set these here for the purpose of the video. But I have gemstones that are in my stock, which I sell in my store, in my online store. So I was like, wow, that would be something beautiful to add to my personal collection. But actually, this gem, you hang it like from your window, or you sit it on something high enough to where the window can reflect the sunlight. And it's really funny because I'm on the East Coast, and usually it's pretty cold around this time of year. I don't know if it's that hurricane that's coming up from Cuba to Florida that's changing the weather, but we've had some really, really hot days like this past weekend and the end of last week. I'm doing this video on the 9th, I believe. So I hung it in the window last week, and what it does is it reflects the sunlight, and it reflects it on all of your walls. So if you have it like in a room, and my house is kind of built to where my kitchen, my living room, and my dining room are all on one level. My house is really long lengthwise. It's like one of those open floor plans with the kitchen in the middle and the island and all of that stuff. So it's reflecting the light from the window that's in my back room, which is my dining room, all the way across to through my kitchen to my living room. It is really, really beautiful. And I'll show you guys one day, because I'd have to get up and kind of show you the walls. It reflects like rainbow colored light onto the walls. It is extremely beautiful, and I'm so thankful. And I've got to think of a really good gift. I'm gonna probably take some of the crystals, maybe this one or something like that, and gift that friend back, because I thought that was really thoughtful and shows a lot of love. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about something peaceful before I talk about the happenings of the weekend. On Friday, I keep my ear to the ground. That was the whole point of me talking about me being young and staying young and stuff like that. It's not something I try to do. I just really feel like I'm not my age. So I'm like, was I born in the wrong generation? I don't know. So with that said, I keep my ear to the ground on a lot of things. I mean, Gemini, Cancer, these are the signs that are going to know things. We always know what's going on. We always know people. We always know the who, what, when, where, and why. So I keep my ear to the ground on like the younger culture, the generation under me, my generation older than me. Like I said, it's really funny because I still feel like I'm an old soul. So Friday morning, I had heard that King Von had been shot. Now, personally, I don't listen to Vaughn's music, but because I'm a part of the YouTube community and like I'm into a lot of different music, it doesn't matter the age of the musician. It just matters if the music is good. So on my social media, somebody in my feed must really like Young Boy, Quando Rondo, all that kind of stuff, because it's always coming down my feed, and so would King Von. So I had seen a lot of stuff that was going on with the beef between him and Young Boy, or whatever the case. He really did, as far as I know, he really didn't have no beef with Quando Rondo. But I find it so odd. I was telling my girlfriend, because Friday morning, it's like as soon as I went on social media, like early that day, I know this had to be before 12 o'clock, a post had came down saying King Von had been shot and he was in critical condition. So I sent it to my girlfriend, and when I do the reading on Von's chart, I'll put it in the if need be, I'll put these messages in there. But I said, you know, it's really crazy. I'm seeing King Von's been shot and he was just beefing with NBA Youngboy, you know, the last week. Not that it was some heavy beef or whatever, but of course, I had been seeing all of this as it been leading up. And if anybody know about anything about NBA Youngboy, you know about G Money, you know about like other people that NBA Youngboy has kind of beefed with that has ended up dead. So when I saw King Von had been shot, I said, wow, that's real funny, because I remember seeing the post in real time when it was happening, when he was hanging out with Jania. It seemed like that's what him and Asian Doll had broke up over. Not to say King Von didn't have a whole stable of women, because he had a few baby mothers. Seemed like he had a few women. You know, the women always come out when a nigga die. So, you know, I had saw that whole thing because I saw and you know, I've seen Jania a lot on social media, and I've lost, I mean, even before this King Von situation, I've lost a lot of, I used to like her. I think everybody kind of used to like the whole Jania and Youngboy thing together, but I've kind of really disliked her since she hasn't been with Youngboy, because she seems very airheaded and immature, and to be dealing with guys who are in known beefs with your child's father is just very unwise as a woman. So to see her, because you know she'd already been on lives and doing whatever with Fredo Bang, you know, it just was real weird to me. And then to see her with King Von, I was like, oh, this looks like trouble. And then Asian Doll kind of jumped in like, yeah, they messing with each other, whatever the case. So then Asian Doll goes and does a song with NBA Youngboy. I saw tweets with Von kind of dissing, not kind of, he was dissing NBA Youngboy. He said he was pussy and he don't do what he talk about in his rap. So I'm just seeing this in real time, and I'm not thinking nothing of it, but oh my gosh, here goes somebody else beefing with Youngboy. I hope this don't turn into more than all of a sudden Friday you see that King Von was shot. And I told my girlfriend, I said, and this is before I knew nobody knew what happened. Nobody had details other than people that were involved in this situation personally. But you guys know I don't read cards, and I don't call myself an empath for nothing, right? So you know I had the whole situation figured out before, like within the hour. Actually, as soon as I saw that post, put me in, coach, put me on the squad, coach. Case solved. You know what I'm saying? That's how me and my Gemini girlfriend are always like, we had a case solved for the details come out. All right, I think I got enough cards for Capricorn. I'm going to talk, and then I'm going to get to these cards. I'm going to stop there. And I haven't even looked. Usually I'll tell you guys some messages, but just talking about this because I just found it crazy. And Capricorn, maybe it is appropriate to be in your reading. You're the one with Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto in your sign acting a fool. So anyway, so I told my girlfriend, I said, that's real weird how he was beefing with Youngboy. I said, I don't know who did it. This is before the video had came out and everything like that. Because a video came out of the shooting. You can go on Instagram or YouTube and see that. It was floating around so heavy over the weekend and on Friday. And I said, it's so funny how him and Youngboy was beefing, and all of a sudden he's shot, because like an hour or two after he was shot, they said he was dead. And I was like, oh, and I thought King Von was a cute young man. I thought he was a handsome young man. He was 26. So I said, you know, that's just weird. I said, even if Youngboy didn't have nothing to do with it, he put that New Orleans voodoo on these niggas, because it just seemed like dudes that beef with him end up dead. So then now it's all coming out about the connection. I didn't even know Quando Rondo was signed to NBA Youngboy. So it's very plausible you know, Quando Rondo was stepping to him over some of that NBA stuff and things got out of hand. Not saying NBA ordered that or anything like that, but it's just real funny. They was doing a video earlier that day, and he ended up fighting, because it started as a fight which led to gunfire. He ended up fighting young Vaughn later that night. You know what I'm saying? So seems to me something was discussed. But you know, I was going to talk about it. You know, a lot of people run to YouTube as soon as things happen. But see, I didn't want to. Sometimes you got to know what to run your mouth about and what not to. Because these are real people situations. And I know we on the internet. Anything I bring to you is from a perspective of tarot and astrology. Like I said, I'm not just going to run to the internet and talk about it like a gossip channel or gossip blog, which does nobody no good. And instead, other than to keep you informed about business that's not your own. But we all like to escape and like a little gossip from time to time. I'm going to come back and look at Vaughn's chart because I saw some interesting things, and I'm going to tie it into the astrology. And it's really funny, even tying it back to Young Boy's chart. I'm not trying to put no charges on nobody, and I'm not trying to, you know, put nobody out there. So sometimes you just got to watch what you say, because these are real life people's situations. And I think people get really irresponsible with the internet sometimes, even if you are just talking about something or a gossip blog or something like that. So let me get into the reading real quick, because I just took up all that time, and I wasn't talking about Capricorn's reading. So yes, Capricorn, it is worth waiting for, and maybe you do need to retreat for somebody and walk away. So maybe not so much you and somebody retreating, but I think you need that time alone, because this says worth waiting for. Trust and stay optimistic about your love life. You need to have somebody that you can trust. So the partner in your life right now, you may not trust them a lot because they not giving you their emotions. It might be a threesome situation and they giving those emotions to somebody else. They may be trying to run some tricks and some games on you. They may be dealing with a water sign, Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces, or they could be dealing with a Leo person. You got the sun card there. And if you're a Capricorn, you may have 2 kids, 2 sons, or a boy and a girl that you need to focus on. Maybe you're thinking about planning a trip, taking a trip with your kids. And maybe there's been a pause on your money, Capricorn. Guys, I didn't even digest whatever, just any of this. I'm going straight in. So y'all comment below and let me know if I'm hitting on anything, because I'm really just going in on these cards. I didn't take a second to think about anything. I'm just giving it to you guys straight and raw. So you may be having a hold up with your money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you had to put your money in certain places. You lent somebody money out, or you did something with your money and there's been a hold up with your money and you've been trying to get it back through working really hard. You've been trying to get it back maybe through different investments and things of that nature. But I feel like there's some emotional involvement that has to do with your money here, because something's stagnant. Either somebody owes you something and they're not giving it to you, or you felt like maybe you had given something to somebody who's giving it to someone else, and the offer that they're making, whatever is happening, is just not good enough for you. You continually are finding yourself unsatisfied. But I think what you need to do, like we talked about, I think the theme of this reading is really retreating, taking some space, stepping back, Capricorn, and just realizing, yeah, money is good. To make money, to have money is nice. To work hard is nice, but you got to focus on yourself, your family, your kids, because there's people in your life that you just can't trust right now. You know, I think you may have good things coming in after you put yourself first. I think there may be a lot of things going on where you may look good or be worried about looking good on the outside of how things looking on the outside, but what's really going on in the inside? What's really going on in the foundation? And I think that's really where the work needs to be done, because there's definitely an air of unhappiness and waiting for something. So what are you waiting for, Capricorn? And whatever is offered to you, or that's been offered to you, it's like something is there. You can have the things that you want, but you focus on shit that's so small. You keeping yourself from the big blessings because you keep yourself in this place tied and bound to things that are small, tied and bound to things in your past, instead of moving forward anew. Because if you do the same things you always done, you're going to get the same results. And then it's going to have you in your feelings, being emotional, and so stuck and buried in those emotions, not even knowing how to express them. And maybe that's what you really need to do. Express how you truly feel. Leo expresses. You need to express. You get what I'm saying? This is like acting on your emotions. Okay? So think about that, Capricorn. And that really brings me to the end of this reading. But I'm going to give you, oh gosh, I'm going to give you a few more cards. I'm trying to get this done because I took up so much time and I was trying to get it done before the camera stops. Listening to wisdom. Huh, what are you here for? You already know I'm the age-old sage. I tell you, I'm an anomaly. I'm young in spirit, mind, and body, but I'm old in soul and mind. I'm telling y'all. So listen to wisdom. Listen to what makes sense. Listen to people that have been through experiences, and your time will come. Again, this is a card, it says seasonal harvest. Your time will come. Like this says worth waiting for, and stay optimistic of your time, of your love life. It's a time for everything. And what's going on right now may just not have been your season. You have, and another thing about seasonal harvest is all this stuff don't pop up just out the blue. You got to put it in the ground and make it happen. And again, it's not all about money. It's about finding things that satisfy you on a soul level. And you can see she's got some lavender here. There's some roses. So maybe you need to get into some spiritual things or saging or doing more tangible things to bring the results you want. Because everything is a spell, right? Writing things down, taking notes, making daily affirmations to yourself, strength and resilience. Capricorn, you've been through a lot. You may be going through a storm in your life, but it's nothing you can't handle. It's nothing you can't handle. You all may even have things going on with a pet. I don't know, maybe a pet is going through certain things. You got to take them to the vet. You have to do things like that because it's a cat in both of these cards there. So you may have a cat or dog or something like that, and then it's an eagle in this card. An eagle or a crow, actually crows, a black crow. So it's speaking to wisdom, listening to people that are wise, looking at the people in front of you and taking what you can from their situations that's positive, and also taking what's negative so you don't go in that direction. But it's really about putting in the work so that you can harvest the fruits of your labor. And that's what you may be doing right now. But I feel like this is more on a spiritual, it's really on an internal level where you need to evaluate yourself because you're always so worried about money and the outside and the material things, Capricorn. You get what I'm saying? And then strength and resilience. Whatever's going on, you're going to make it through it and you're going to be just fine. It's just a matter of time. That's what that worth waiting for in that stay optimistic. And you notice in this stay optimistic, there are also flowers and stuff. So maybe you'll be getting some flowers for somebody. Maybe you miss or you want those kind of things. People sending you flowers, showing you that you really care, you know, and that it's not all about the money. Taking you on a vacation, showing you they care about your kids, things like that. You know what I mean? But I think it's some things you haven't been seeing, Capricorn, that you just blinded to. And it's not because they aren't there and they aren't in plain sight and right in front of your face. You don't want to see them. Okay? All right, Capricorn, I wish you guys the best. I want to wish you a happy birthday in advance. It is November the 9th. So in another 2.5 months, we'll be in... well, month and a half, right? We'll be in Capricorn season. My opposite sign, Capricorn, stay up. I wish you much positivity and love. You guys check back for when I put up my chart reading on King Vaughn. I'm going to try to do that in a few hours. I'm going to try to have it up by the night. All right. Visit my GoDaddy store. It is below. The link is below in the description. And, you know, things get shipped out within 24 hours. Insurance on all merchandise. If something breaks or doesn't arrive, they can be replaced. And yeah, I truly believe in customer service and satisfying all of my customers. So again, guys, comment below. Let me know how you related to this reading. Like, share, subscribe so my shit can circulate the YouTube algorithms, okay? And that's it for now. See you guys. Madam X, Frequency World Radio, and I'm out.